we'll see. Is everybody ready to go? Let's proclaim the greatest radio show.
Welcome, fans, to another episode of The Spread. I'm your host, Jim Sella, in studio with Jay Dash and Big Easy.
Yup.
Got our Steelers preview show coming for you. The Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Arizona Cardinals at home. The Steelers are 8-2 against the Cardinals all time. 1-0 in the playoffs, 7-3 since 1972. And Dash, I think you told me they're 4-2 against Arizona since they moved there.
Did I?
I'm pretty sure that was you.
Is that 1-0 all time in the playoffs, the Super Bowl win?
Please believe. That's
Okay.
why I had to add that stat.
1-0 all time in the playoffs.
Because it means nothing, because it's not the playoffs.
Larry Fitz.
I just wanted to rub it in their face.
You know, he caught that touchdown. He ran. I'm like, go. Because I like Larry Fitzgerald. You know, he's from Pitt, obviously, and he's a playmaker. And then I thought we had, you know, that was one of the best Super Bowls I've ever seen.
Amazing. Hopefully this game doesn't go down to the end like it did, because we don't have Ben Roethlisberger. We got Mike Vick, and I don't think he's making that pass to win it.
Did last week.
I think Le'Veon Bell ran it in to win it.
Well, he had the 72-yard touchdown, and he threw 6 straight balls straight down the field to get him to the 1-yard line. I mean, that ball to Heath Miller was a pass to win it.
It was a pass. It was high and caused Heath to get hit in the face.
Well, it's high. Are you kidding me? That was a perfect pass, dude. You're always saying his passes are high. Even if a receiver has to jump, let me tell you, as a receiver, the easiest pass to catch is a higher pass. If you have to go to the ground, that's a lot harder to catch.
Well, yeah,
when it's high.
I didn't say he should throw it at the ground.
Well, listen, it was right in his chest, first of all. Just because he got blasted in the head by a defensive player doesn't mean the ball hit him in the head.
The ball hit him right in the face. That's
yeah,
what gave
that's
him the
what gave
concussion.
him the concussion.
You know, Roethlisberger was in practice today for a little bit. I think they said day-to-day.
Yeah, he's doing 7-on-7 drills with the scout team, but I think it's just to keep his arm fresh.
So,
I don't expect to see him.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I don't expect to see him this week. Maybe against the Chiefs, but definitely not against the Cardinals.
Well, we talked about that, and we'll mention it in other segments, but you don't want to rush him back, I don't think. I mean, even though, like you said, Mike Vick wasn't playing that good, you don't want to rush him back at all. I don't think...
We don't want him pulling a Carson Palmer and tearing the thing right off his leg.
Getting that W last Monday was huge because now you definitely don't have to rush him back. At least we, you know, got one. Didn't go completely defeated, but...
Well, look, you got a tough matchup this week, though. But if you look, the Cardinals, they're 4-1 right now. The teams they beat are the New Orleans Saints, garbage. Chicago Bears,
Garbage.
San Francisco 49ers,
Garbage.
Detroit Lions,
Garbage.
Listen, Mike Vick has as many or more wins than 3 of those 4 teams.
What do you mean?
Mike Vick has more wins than 3 of 4 of those teams.
So Chicago and...
No,
Kansas
Chicago
City,
has 2 wins.
Oh.
New Orleans has 1 win. San Francisco has 1 win. Detroit winless.
Okay.
Their only hiccup this season was against the St. Louis Rams. They lost 24-22 to them, and the Pittsburgh Steelers went out and beat them half that game with Michael Vick.
That was a scary game.
In their place, too. So...
Please believe.
You know what? Arizona, but they didn't just beat those teams. They blasted those teams.
Yeah, they blew them all out. All their wins were blowouts, for sure.
I mean, we blew out San Francisco, but...
Well, look at these defenses, though. New Orleans, Chicago, San Fran, Detroit. I mean, this might be their biggest test, unless you consider St. Louis a better defense, which I guess I do, but they didn't look like themselves at the beginning of the season. Really, Pittsburgh, this might be Arizona's toughest test, even with Michael Vick in.
The Cardinals outrank the Steelers in basically any offensive and defensive category that matters. Even points per game on defense, as well as the Steelers' defense has been playing. The Cardinals are only giving up 18. Pittsburgh's giving up 19. Obviously, on offense, the Cardinals are scoring 38 points a game to Pittsburgh's 24. But we said it when Vick came in, we didn't expect more than around 20 to 25 points out of the offense each week with Vick in, so the defense was going to have to step up. They've done it. 19 points a game is a lot better than I thought they would do at this point.
And I tell you what, they're playing pretty well at home, too. When you actually look at their stats between home and the road, and I'm talking about the defense here, on the road, each game, they had 2 sacks in each game. Now, at home, in their 2 home games, they had 5 sacks in each of those games. So they've been getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback when they're at home. But I tell you what, Carson Palmer and that offensive line is a lot better than they were last year. They're not letting anybody to Carson Palmer this season. That's why he's had so much success this season. They've been able to keep him upright.
And you know what else is helping? This beast rushing game they have with the two Johnsons and now Andre Ellington back. Chris Johnson's averaging over 5 yards a carry. David Johnson's averaging over 5 yards a carry. Ellington just had that big 63-yard run last week. The Cardinals are actually only throwing for 258 yards a game, so it's not Palmer having to win all these games for them. They're keeping him out of harm's way by not forcing him to be the cornerstone of the offense, and if he stays healthy, they'll be a force in the NFC.
Well, it's been mostly Chris Johnson recently. Actually, David Johnson only has 6 carries over his last 2 games, but Chris Johnson looks like his old self back in the day when he was that 2,000-yard rusher. Maybe not quite that good, but I tell you what, he looks pretty good, and everybody thought this guy was washed up, and it doesn't look like he is. And they got 3 good running backs out there to use. David Johnson, I don't know how much you're going to see him now that Ellington's back. You heard Ellington's going to take the 3rd role. Well, Ellington's good in the passing game, and that's where David Johnson's good at, too. David Johnson hasn't been getting the carries, so we'll have to see how that works out.
Well, I'm going to tell you how it's going to work out. It doesn't matter whether a team has a good run game or not. I mean, we've been
able to stop the run.
That and or a team's run game is not the key to their victory against us. So there's Carson Palmer, quarterback, and then I don't even care who's at running back.
Right, but here's the thing.
How do we get beat? We get beat by. Well, go ahead.
Well, Carson Palmer doesn't beat us very much. We're 8-5 against him for his career.
I was just going to say, you take a look back at last week, San Diego. I actually like their passing game better than the Cardinals. I mean, I like their weapons more out there. They have Danny Woodhead and Melvin Gordon out of the backfield for the passing game.
Right.
Keenan Allen's out there. Malcolm Floyd. I know Stevie Johnson wasn't there, but
Gates
they just got
big,
Antonio Gates back.
And
yeah, they don't have a tight end like Antonio Gates. And I think Phillip Rivers is better than Carson Palmer still. So, I mean, I think San Diego has the better passing game. I think the difference between these two offenses is the run game. The Cardinals have a good run game where Melvin Gordon and Danny Woodhead just haven't been getting it going because of that offensive line. We've seen this week, San Diego's offensive line looked bad. The Cardinals' offensive line has been good this season.
See, I'll agree. San Diego's passing game puts up more yards, but I like Arizona's style of passing game because they push the ball downfield with Larry Fitzgerald, John Brown, Michael Floyd. These guys are big bodies. They're guys that know how to go down the field. Carson Palmer has always been good at throwing that deep ball. So they're going to press these Steelers safeties. And is Mike Mitchell healthy? Is Will Allen healthy? Is it going to be Shamarko and Golden? Is it going to be Shamarko or Golden? This is going to be a tough matchup for the Steelers. The Cardinals want to go over the top. They're going to try to go over the top early, and we got to hope that we don't get beat. We've done a good job this year of keeping the ball in front of us outside of the New England game where we just forgot to cover people. But this will be a real good matchup. We're going to really see what the Steelers' defensive backs are made of. Cockrell and Blake have been playing well. Cortez Allen's still garbage. Willie Gay's been solid in the slot. We got to put pressure on Palmer. Sorry, Eddie B, but let's knock him out of the game and get Drew Stanton in there.
Defense is just going to have to make a play like they did on Monday night. Big 73-yard pick six touchdown. If Carson does step up and want to test, us downfield, either he's going to make a mistake or we're going to make a big play or he's going to connect and we'll lose. So, I mean, I think he'll either make a mistake or one of our defensive guys will make a big play before they beat us.
Troy was usually the guy who tortured Palmer, and now Troy's not there. So who's going to be that new guy? Will it be Shazier coming back for the first time?
I think it'll be Cam. I don't think it'll be Cam. He'll get in there.
They're going to find him again for writing Ironhead on his eye black.
Yeah, I seen that I seen that too, and I said, "Oh,
ridiculous."
I liked it. I liked it, and then find him whatever. $6,000 of those is like a quarter to him though.
Believe it. Dash, is there anybody on the Cardinals defense singularly that scares you? Like the Honey Badger maybe? Because I know it's
actually
not
the Honey
Lamar
Badger,
Woodley.
he has a heel injury or something, and he missed practice today, so we'll have to see how that works out.
So he's got to hope his heel heals.
Yeah. It needs the heel.
That's a good one. Here, wait. That's for the Honey Badger because he got his game together.
I like that dude.
Got kicked out of college, and because that's what they do. They smoke weed and they party, and he manned up. It's easy for me to say, but if you know you're going to be a millionaire in like a year and a half, why are you smoking weed and playing games, dude? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just wait.
Wow.
I'll tell you what, the
get that
Arizona
money.
Cardinals are a lot healthier than the Pittsburgh Steelers right now, too. I mean, they
It's
got
that
all
dry
their
air
weapons
down
out
there in Arizona. It's all wet and muggy up here in Pittsburgh.
Look, I'm looking at the
Allergies.
ESPN injury report right now. This is why you don't listen to ESPN. Ben Roethlisberger, doubtful. Ryan Shazier, out. Ryan Shazier has less of a chance to play than Ben Roethlisberger?
Yeah. Well, like we said on the Steelers recap, the Steelers app had Ben Roethlisberger 1-for-1 with 26 yards passing for the game against San Diego.
But there is no injury report on a Wednesday.
Yeah, that's when the injury report comes out. After practice, 4 o'clock, man.
What, every day there's an injury report?
At Wednesday, the first week's injury report comes out.
This couldn't be from last week because Roethlisberger would have been listed as out.
All right, well,
it's not something
why don't you
official.
just go to the Pittsburgh Steelers site
because I wanted them both
the
at the
injury
same
report.
time.
It's not something that has to be officially turned into the NFL, but teams report their injuries on Wednesdays
Oh, so
to like the media
so it's
and
not
stuff
official?
like that. And yeah, those are.
No, there's nothing official though.
Yeah. You could say they're out now and they could still be in. That
Okay.
doesn't have to be turned in for a while.
Yeah, I see. I didn't think there was any injury protocol during the week. You know
It's
what I mean?
more
Like,
a thing for
you
the
can't,
media
like,
purposes,
on Thursday
fans.
say dudes blah 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 blah. Like,
Just trying to keep people informed, I guess.
okay. Well,
Like I was saying
block 'em.
before, the Steelers defense, they look a lot better at home, but it was against the 49ers and the Ravens. They played the Chargers last week, as we mentioned. They played the Patriots defense. The only good defense the Steelers really played, in my opinion, are those Rams, and they held them to 12 points. I think the Arizona Cardinals are actually the best defense they're going to face this year, unless you consider the Rams better at this point.
Did
But
we play Denver?
no, to this point, I'm saying.
Okay, sorry.
I mean, look, Chargers, Ravens, 49ers, Patriots, I'm not scared of those defenses at all. The Rams a little bit, maybe. The Cardinals, for sure, you got to look out for this defense.
They're an opportunistic bunch. They play hard, they play fast, just like our Steelers defense, but they've been doing it for a couple years longer, and they're a little bit better at it, a little more refined. Are you afraid of Lamar Woodley? Because I read a comment by a fan that said they don't want Ben Roethlisberger to come back this week because Woodley's going to step up and he would take out Ben's knee on purpose. I didn't even know Woodley was playing. I thought they just signed him because that's where people go to retire.
Yeah, for real. This guy starts?
I don't know. We'll have to ask Eddie B. Eddie B, if you're listening, let us know, man. What's up with Woodley? We just thought he sucked. I know he sucks, quite honestly. He was garbage.
Well, the coach of Arizona thinks he's going to have the upper hand.
BA.
Right off the bat. So
Dash's uncle, man. He should have the lowdown on this game.
he's going to think he has the upper hand because he thinks he knows what we're going to do. But Tomlin they better have a game plan. I mean, going for it on that last play on Monday
Gutsy.
was gutsy. So if he's going to do that, anything's on the table at home to win a football game against, and you know he don't want to lose to Bruce Arians. You know that.
I tell you one thing that will not beat the Arizona Cardinals, and that is the Wildcat.
Oh, yeah. Please don't run the Wildcat again, Todd Haley. I know that was the play we won the game on, but I think we could have won the game on either a quarterback sneak or just a handoff to Le'Veon the regular way. And don't do any shotgun pistol formation pitches. It takes like freaking 10 seconds to even get the ball to the running back.
We'll see.
This is just... Gimmick offenses are for teams that suck, not the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Lamar Woodley is not a starter, but Alex Okafor is injured, and I don't know if he's going to play or not, but if not, Woodley would be the starter behind him, apparently.
Good Lord. We're going to have to see that fat bastard run around on the field again.
Antonio Brown hit Vick deep in the end zone for a touchdown today at practice. So,
Antonio Brown hit Vick deep?
yep.
Nice. Brown figures if he ain't going to get 5 for 50, he's just going to start throwing the touchdowns.
So I mean, I bet you're going to see a little bit of you're going to see a little Wildcat this Sunday. I guarantee it.
I've been calling for
Something.
a flea flicker since we put
There's-
Vick in.
There's an article here from USA Today that just came out less than an hour ago, and it says Antonio Brown said to Michael Vick, "Trust me to make plays.
Yeah, because
Let me do my thing."
we were saying that in the recap. Even when he's covered, Ben still throws him the football because he knows one-on-one there aren't too many defenders that can cover Antonio. And Vick and Brown just don't have that rapport yet. So Vick sometimes needs to take a chance. Just throw the ball to Antonio. Trust in him.
Here it is again. A great receiver is only as good as their quarterback,
Yep.
obviously.
Please believe. You think
So-
Jerry Rice
Sometimes,
would have
I
put
mean,
up
you
the
go out
numbers
and
he
look at
would
what
have without
Kelvin-
Montana and Steve Young?
I mean, you go look at what Kelvin Johnson was doing early in his career, though, with garbage, god-awful quarterbacks. Who was it? Dan Orlovsky was one of them. He's still there.
It was only Johnson's first 2 years that he had a bad quarterback, actually. Then Stafford was drafted in his third year.
Well, he was still doing it big. I mean, you can do it without the quarterback. You're not going to win games or anything, but you can get it done with a quarterback in terms of like fantasy and stuff.
Oh, fantasy,
okay, well, we're not talking fantasy here.
Real.
We're talking reality. This is the preview for Sunday at 1 o'clock.
Okay, you want to look at it that way?
What's
you say
reality?
You're only as good as your quarterback?
Yeah.
Well, Michael Vick put the ball in Antonio Brown's hands in the end zone, and dude dropped it, so it's partially his own fault, too. You know what I mean?
In that game.
Yeah. No
I
doubt.
mean, I'm not saying
so why didn't
Vick and Ben are the same thing as Brown.
Brown spoke to the media today. He had a bunch of quotes, and I just wonder why someone didn't bring that up. Hey,
Catch the
and
damn
then
ball.
they're still talking about the left-handed spin of the rotation of the football too. I'm tired of that.
Yeah, it's stupid.
If you're making millions of dollars, I don't care if it's spinning right or spinning left. Catch the ball, dude, and run with it. That's what you're getting paid for.
Manning's been throwing ducks his whole life, and people catch those.
Yeah. Emmanuel's making money catching ducks. So why are you talking? What are you talking about? Left-handed spin, Antonio? You're ridiculous. But I don't know. We basically we hit on it all. The Arizona really hasn't played much defensively. Their teams, Chicago, all those teams.
Yeah, they've gotten out to such big leads. They really haven't had to put a lot of pressure or worry about an offense putting pressure on them.
I mean, it's basically going to focus on Mike Vick again. And is he going to be able to do anything for us?
He's got to play a
They got to
little
open
better.
it up. They have to open it up. You remember at halftime last game, I mentioned this last segment. You said, what do they got to do? I said they have to open it up so they can give the ball to Le'Veon and there's not 9 men in the box. And they did. They opened it up and they hit on the deep ball as well.
Well, we also mentioned in the recap that it was Ben who called that deep play, so maybe they should just let him call all the plays and put Haley
I'd have no
in
problem with that
freaking
whatsoever.
hyperbaric chamber.
I mean, how hard is it to say Wildcat or hit? How about the play shotgun, pitch it back to Le'Veon Bell? Like 2 feet.
No
It was a
sense.
2-foot pitch straight backwards.
It made no sense. It was the worst play I've seen in a long time. That's like Pee Wee League stuff right
And
there.
then you get in 3rd and 8 and be like, hey, throw a 30-yard out, dude.
It's too much. Todd Haley needs to get his act together. Tomlin, you need to get Haley get his act together. But what's your key to victory, Dash?
My key to victory, like I said, if the Steelers can stop this run game like they stopped San Diego's run game, then I see not much of a difference in terms of the two offenses, San Diego and Arizona. So if they can stop that 3-headed monster you were talking about, the 2 Johnsons and Ellington, I could see a similar game defensively to that Chargers game, and I'd expect the offense to come out and score enough points.
I think Mike Vick needs to outplay Carson Palmer. And that's going to be tough because Palmer's playing real well. And I'm not saying that there's no chance Vick can do it. He just hasn't been doing it as of late.
Yeah, the line got to pick it up this game if that's going to happen.
I'm not saying he has to throw for more yards or anything, but he's got to be a little more accurate with the ball in this game, and the offense has to let him take the chances. Haley has to let him throw downfield more. But then, just like you said a couple minutes ago, he's got to trust in Antonio Brown. Throw your man the ball. This guy will make plays for you. He will make you look good. Just let him make you look good. Give him the ball. Give him the opportunity. Trust in your beast-ass wide receiver who led the league in freaking almost every single statistical category last year. Let him play his game.
Easy.
Coaching. Bruce Arians thinks he has the upper hand because he thinks he knows exactly what we're going to do. Mike Tomlin is clock management, all that.
Todd Haley doesn't even know what we're going to do.
It's going to be our game plan. What is our, whatever. Did they say like the first 20 plays are scripted or whatever? Like your
Usually.
first, all that BS? Well, them first 20 plays better get us a touch at least. Like
I
you
never
said,
understood the first 20 plays are scripted thing. I get it, but doesn't it depend on what happens on the first and second play, whether you keep to your script? You know what I mean? It
Yeah,
makes
like
no
if
sense.
it's 3rd and 15, you're not running your third play on your script.
Yeah, well, look, it was 3rd and 3
Well,
on
no,
that
what if
first
they
drive, and
have
they
a
went
script
deep
of
with Vick.
But what-
Was that in the script
Listen,
that on 3rd and 3 we're going deep, or on that play on the 12th play, no matter if it was 1st and 10 or 3rd and 1?
You see them with those giant color-coordinated,
Laminated,
laminated 15 poster boards. they probably have a play for every situation.
Yeah, that's possible.
And I mean, like hundreds of them. So who knows?
There are 1,000 assistant coaches. They got to have something to do.
Well, no one was looking at the scoreboard to say anything about the clock running.
I
There
didn't
got to be
notice it.
someone on the sidelines that's supposed to watch that. I'd have to believe so. Because, I mean, coaches, they complain when 5 seconds runs off the clock. And Tomlin didn't see it. And he's not the guy that has to be sitting there staring at the time on the scoreboard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody else has to be doing that. And as soon as it happens, you go tell Mike Tomlin about it. And then he goes and bitches.
Yeah, so the coaching and the staff needs to pick their game up and have a game plan. That's my key to victory. Because the talent is equal, if not better, on our end.
Well, what's your prediction, Dash?
I think a lot of people believe that Arizona's going to go out and put up 40 points in this game, and I don't think it's going to happen. I don't even think they're going to reach 30, but they will win the game 27-25.
Why?
Why will they win the game? Because
Yeah.
they're the better team right now. They got their starting quarterback. We got our backup quarterback. I mean, Michael Vick, yes, he should be 2-0 right now, but this is a big test for him, and I just don't think it's going to happen. I think the Cardinals are one of the better teams in football.
I think coming off of that huge last-second victory play on the road in San Diego,
It was huge.
keeps them pumped up and ready to go. I say 24-20 Pittsburgh.
That would be huge to me. Like Jim said last week, he thought the Chargers were only going to score 14 points, and I said if the defense does that, then they really should be considered one of the better defenses in football. If they hold the Cardinals to 20 points, I feel the same.
The line for this game is Arizona -3, and Pittsburgh's at home. So really people think right now Arizona can win this game anywhere around 6 points better than Pittsburgh. I don't know if I think it's going to be that big of a difference. I think the defense tortures Carson Palmer like they always do. I don't think not having Troy Polamalu will really affect them. I really think Ryan Shazier is going to come in here. He's going to help them shut down that running game. What does Chris Johnson do so well, Dash? He hits the hole. He's fast. Once he gets past the D-line and the linebackers, who's left to tackle him? Small defensive backs. Well, Ryan Shazier is fast enough to hit the hole or even move laterally along the line of scrimmage to keep Johnson in check. He's not going to be able to bounce the ball outside and around these linebackers. Bud Dupree, Lawrence Timmons, these guys are going to keep him in check. I think Pittsburgh wins this game 24-21.
Mm-hmm.
Boswell's going to win it on a late field
So
goal.
you say
And well done,
24-20,
Boswell.
and you say
24-20.
24-21.
Yeah. I say, Boswell, well done,
Yes,
friend.
major
and
kick.
When we call on you, keep putting them in the end zone off the,
On the kickoffs.
on the kickoffs. We need touchbacks. And then when we call on you, I know you'll be there. Well done. Keep it up. Kick game was on point Monday.
Please believe. Anything else you got for the fans, Dash?
No.
That's it. That's all we got for you guys today. Anything you want to chip in, chime in, let us know. Hit us up on Twitter at bet_the_spread. Hit me up on Twitter at betjimthewin. Check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/betthespread. Click like, go to the YouTube page, click thumbs up, click anything positive, search a spread. Here we go, Steelers. Down with Dash's uncle.